Everyone was focusing solely on Xiaomi 12 Pro when the Xiaomi series came out, ignoring all the other models. Well, we reckon that we still have the responsibility to let you know that how does the standard version of Xiaomi 12 performs, what's its biggest selling point, and is it worth buying while there are so many other options are available. This Xiaomi 12 that I'm holding is the standard blue version. The build has definitely become more and more premium. It's visually very simple, but really well built. The back is with the matte glass finish and easily gets some fingerprint, but it's not slippery nor gets scratches easily. The shape feels so right this time. The thickness of the phone feels very comfortable in the hand, and the camera module has a very nice shape. The lines give it a very neat and organized feeling. It looks slightly different from Xiaomi 12 Pro, speaking of the total size, but mostly similar. The most impressive part is the overall size. That comfortable and firm feeling that it gives you when you are holding it in hand is what I enjoy the most. Also, design looks very different than before. This time it surely looks like a premium design. The screen is a 1080p 6.28-inch 120Hz OLED display. It also comes with the latest LTPO technology for improving battery efficiency. About the detail, you can check it from our Xiaomi 12 Pro's review. We're not gonna go into great depth in this video. It has the highest touch sampling rate of 480 Hz. Peak brightness can go up to 1100 nit. It's an edge curved screen, but there is no obvious color problem at the edge of the screens, but the brightness drops a little bit. The fingerprint location is also on the fairly comfortable spot, and it reads very fast. It also comes with Corning Gorilla Glass Victus protection. So yeah, the screen can give you anything you can possibly desire, and I have nothing to pick up on so far, except from it not being 2K resolution. Performance-wise, in a normal room temperature, Antutu benchmark scored 947,000, while live 9800, Geekbench 5 simple core 1100, multi-core 3500. Again, Snapdragon 8 Gen 1 is very powerful, as long as we can deal with the heat problem properly. In the gaming test, with the highest image quality of PUBG, average frame rate is capped at 51. Maybe not a very impressive number, but the phone didn't get that hot after the testing, and the whole process was pretty smooth and even. And at the highest quality of Genshin Impact, the average frame per second is 39.13. It was liked at 45 frames per second at the beginning, but it dropped to 40 frames per second as the phone grew hot and went back to 45 again. The whole process was pretty smooth, and the phone is also kept at a pretty acceptable temperature. In Brightpage's case, average frame rate is capped at 30 frames per second, but once the phone grew hot a little bit, frame rate has started to become very unsteady, and there were some really annoying frame drops while in gaming. So I'm assuming you really have to depend on a good software optimization to unleash its full potential, or at least get it work properly. Well, now we know that for those of you who are dedicated gamers, these numbers probably doesn't seem very appealing. However, the phone temperature is kept very steady instead of glowing hot. So if you're more on the side of keeping your hand cooler, you can think about it. But Xiaomi 12 is certainly not a dedicated gaming phone, considering there are many options are available at the moment. Speaking of the camera set, on Xiaomi 12, the main camera is a 50 megapixel Sony IMX766 sensor with OIS. The other two cameras are 5 megapixel macro camera and 13 megapixel ultra-wide camera. The main camera has a very eye-catching style of tuning. Contrast and saturation is relatively higher. Sharpening algorithm also works pretty well, though the trace is a bit obvious. This kind of image style is no doubt the most pleasing in the first look for sure. At night, the good performance is even well presented. Dynamic range is very good, and colors are still natural and correct, except from being a little bit too saturated. And motion blur was hardly an issue, except from the object of the photo is moving itself. In ultra-wide mode, 123 degrees lens is not as annoying as 150 degrees ultra-wide. The field of view is just right, and I don't have to worry about including too many unwanted objects in my image. The color is less intense comparing with the main camera. At night, the performance is still good. Images are still sharp, though the colors are less intense, but there is no noticeable big problem with accuracy of the colors. Dynamic range is not as excellent as the main camera, but still quite better than many other flagships. Also, the autofocus of ultra-wide camera greatly increases the shooting experience. This ultra-wide camera definitely is my most satisfying pick among all the other flagships we have tested recently. And you can pretty much ignore the 2x telephoto lens. The image is not sharp enough. The crop image from the main lens looks better than the 2x telephoto lens, so I didn't really spend much time bothering with this camera. As for the overall camera experience, the software was wonderful. I didn't encounter any bugs while I'm using it, and the whole process was very smooth and satisfying. After the camera test, let's talk about the speaker test. Speaker is loud enough. The sound quality is also one of the Xiaomi's very proud strong suits of this series, so let's give it a try. As for the battery, it comes with 67-watt fast charging, and it takes 43 minutes of fast charging to fully charge the phone. Wireless fast charging is 50 watts and supports 10 watts of reverse wireless. When it's fully charged, playing PUBG in highest quality for half an hour uses 10% of the battery. Using the camera for half an hour consumes 10%, playing videos for half an hour 5%, navigating social media 7%, and it's still left with 68%. This battery life can be considered to be one of the best battery life on any Android smartphone on the market so far, even better than Xiaomi 12 Pro. In the conclusion, you're also probably not gonna pay too much attention to Xiaomi 12 while there are 12 Pro and many other options are available. However, if you have more affection towards a small screen, and if you value a better battery life more than anything else, then Xiaomi 12 is doubtlessly gonna beat Xiaomi 12 Pro easily, even beats almost all the Android smartphones that's available right now at the market. But without this advantage, Xiaomi 12 Pro is obviously a better option with a bigger screen, better specs, and more features. And the price is not that high either. So this is going to be it for today. I hope I'll see you in the future videos, and bye for now.